Have you heard of Crysis?
Nice car.
Yeah, boy.
Crysis. It's a game made by Germans. Back when this game came out, this intro cinematic used to scare me when I was a kid. I had no idea what the game was about, so I didn't know what the hell the nano suit was. I just found it creepy. Thankfully, I matured. Grew up to be a handsome gamer. With an impressive. The game is set in the year 2020. Oh, 2008, you sweet summer child. You are Nomad, a super secret, advanced CIA, JSOC, FBI, SEAL Team 69, Alpha Beta Omega Male, sent in undercover to Wuhan, China to stop the creation of COVID-20. And the game runs like shit. Let's get the memes out of the way. Crysis was very graphically impressive when it came out, and it blew my little mind with some of the destruction physics that it was able to do. When you look at some of the other games that were released around 2008, very few got close to the type of graphical fidelity that Crysis was able to reach. This, however, came at a cost. Playing the game on all ultra settings, even now in 2021, can be a chore for the average computer. Something seemed off though when I started my playthrough for this video. The frame rate felt super rough, and it was almost as if the refresh rate was changing between 30 in the cutscenes and 60 in-game. I checked the frame rate through the Steam overlay, and sure enough, I was getting way above 100 frames. The game, unfortunately, does not have any way to change your refresh rate. This was back when everyone was using 4x3 HD displays. After searching through the finest tutorials that YouTube had to offer to try and find a fix for this.
How to solve 24 Hz?
It turns out it's pretty easy. Let me show you. You might have to do this a couple of times, but eventually it'll work. This puts the game in a pseudo-borderless windowed mode, which allows it to use your default refresh rate. Much better. Alright, where were we? Yeah. Dropping from the battle bus. So you're dropping down into Tomato Town with the boys before.
Hey bro, watch your jet. Watch your jet, bro. Watch your jet.
Somehow, whatever that thing was managed to swipe your entire parachute away from you. Luckily, you're gigavaxed and are able to take the puny terminal velocity drop into the water below. It is here where you are faced with your first and most challenging enemy, the tortoise. Luckily, your SEAL training kicks in and you remember that they cannot swim. So, what now? You've spent your entire gamer life training to defeat this enemy, and it was over. Just like that. I guess you could just check your objectives and go do whatever those dorks in the beginning wanted you to do. Thanks, Obama! There's only really one way to go, and that's something you're really gonna notice later on in the game. The maps look deceptively large at times, and in all fairness, you are given a lot of freedom to explore and to tackle objectives in whatever way you like. But when you start to look out for it, you'll notice just how much impassable terrain there actually is all around you, funneling you towards where you need to be. Could be much worse though. It is here that you're also taught some very important functions, such as crouch, prone, pick up object, melee, pizza, pasta. After taking out your first humanoid adversaries and almost dying to the first fucking enemies in the game, you meet up with ya boy, Jester. Your affectionate gamer greetings are cut short though, as you can hear one of your comrades, Aztec, crying in the distance.
Jesus. What the hell happened here?
That's a good joke, come on. Thankfully, that was just Montezuma, and now he's dead. At least he'll leave your civilization alone. You then leave off on your own as the game doesn't trust you with companions. Prophet gets on the radio and tells you about that cloak mode, even though you've already been using it for the past 10 minutes. This is probably a good time to talk about the nano suit. As the Super Mega Chad 2 Mad, you have been equipped with the finest suit of armor that oil money can buy. The nano suit possesses hypodermic needles located all around the body to ensure an instant dose of happy juice when required. As a side note, it seems like they wanted to have 5 modes for this suit, but at some point in development they just went with 4. That 5th one is the access to the weapons attachments menu. The first element is strength. Through the administration of methamphetamines directly into the bloodstream, the nano nano suit allows for increased muscle strength for the user. Jump height is increased, weapon sway reduced, and punching power puts Tyson to bed. Next, we have speed. You go very fast, and like any real crack junkie, there is the added risk of running headfirst into a wall and instantly dying. Maximum armor mode administers crocodile, turning your skin hard as rocks, making it resistant to blunt force trauma and tasers. And finally, there's the cloak, achieved through 10 milligrams of psilocybin mushrooms.
I'm alive, right?
So this version of the nanosuit has a lot of problems, even just at the conceptual level. Let me stress that this isn't completely damning of the game. The suit is still quite enjoyable to use, but I find that the later two games explain how it works a lot better. Ask yourself this: forgetting Crysis 2 and 3, would you be able to describe how the nanosuit in Crysis 1 even functions? I think the biggest problem here is that intro cinematic again. The game itself doesn't really try to explain how the suit works, other than just say, "Nano machines suck." Like, what the fuck is this shit? So the suit, I guess, just rubs some ointment on your skin, and the hormones that are in the sauce give you the powers. I'm joking about the ointment, but what the fuck is this even meant to be? Would it not make more sense to have some sort of IV attached to the wearer? Surely that would be a lot more efficient than these coof particles going in through your skin. Hell, they could even give those hormones to regular Marines in syringes or some shit, and then you wouldn't even need to spend millions of dollars on these expensive Halloween costumes. The later games expand on the suit. It clearly has some sort of AI in Crysis 2 and is in some way or another bound with the wearer, able to alter their body chemistry. My guess is that when this cutscene was made, they really had no idea if there would ever be another game that could go into detail on what the nanosuit even was. It looked cool though, so they kept it. None of this affects gameplay. I just like being a dick and complaining about stuff that doesn't make sense, which, while I'm at it, how would a drug that can make you jump this high and run this fast not just stop your heart the second it entered your bloodstream? Why can super strength make you jump higher but can't make you run faster? Surely having stronger legs would mean that you can propel yourself faster too. When I first played Crysis 2, I was pretty sad that they'd dumbed down the nanosuit functions, but now that I think about it, it makes a lot more sense. Not only can you now cloak and activate armor mode with one button each, they managed to get around the whole strength should make you run faster thing too. Whatever though, it's not a big deal. Something about this must work if I still keep coming back to this game. So you kill these two creme de la creme North Korean specimen. As you move forward, you start to notice that the sun is coming out. So, naturally, I went back to see if it would get dark again. To the game's credit, it didn't. They actually considered that someone might go back and check if it happens.
Good job!
Then you get to this ridge, and this is where the game properly opens up for the first time.
Patrols down on the beach. Use your binocs to tag them before you run in blind.
I see a large transmitting array. That must be the jamming station.
Okay.
Crysis caters really well to two specific playstyles, so if any of this sounds good to you, then just go buy it already. Yeah, there's a small chance that it might not work if you believe the Steam reviews, but if that really is the case, then you can just refund it, or you can wait for the remastered version and see what that's like. The first playstyle is pretty simple. Explosions, bullets flying everywhere, throwing shit at everyone you see like a true primate. This can be pretty fun, but the weapons can leave a little bit to be desired at times.
Don't worry, son, I'll get to that.
If you are like me, however, a gamer, and one who had a massive hard-on for the Splinter Cell franchise in their youth, then you want to be spamming the cloak mode to get around, trying to avoid detection for as long as possible. Theoretically, I think that it should be possible for someone to play a complete no-detection playthrough in this game, but not only would you need to find someone with less will to live than the average Gen Z college student, but you'd probably also want to blow your brains out in a video game. Once you reach the second part of Crysis, the developers must have considered some sort of non-lethal playstyle. I mean, they have this useless hunk of shit. The tactical attachment is probably one of the most confusing items included in the game. It's so useless that I actually think that it was left in the game intentionally as a joke. That, or they were going to expand on it and they just fucking forgot it exists. The MGS dart guns are great for a number of reasons. Number 1, they reward player accuracy by making headshots an instant KO. Number 2, they're quick to reload, meaning you can take risky plays around a number of enemies that, again, reward good player accuracy. Number 3, the game lets you move bodies. How many of these points do you think apply to the tactical attachment in Crysis? None. 0. Nada. You get unlimited ammo, but it takes like 15 seconds to reload. You can hit someone in the foot and they'll drop instantly. Once they're down, what are you gonna do? Might as well just fucking kill them, right? They'll just get back up in like 30 seconds anyway. The sad thing is, I could really see this thing being viable for true non-lethal playthroughs. All they would have to do would be to make it fire multiple darts before needing to reload. They could even make it so that you actually have to find ammo for it to balance it out, but having like 3 or 4 darts in one magazine would already make it so much more useful. That and an increase in the time enemies remain knocked out for, and you could really have a fun option on your hands. Instead we have this, and it fucking sucks. So you clear out your first proper area and complete your secondary objective, which unjams your GPS. Depending on whether you were detected or not, you might have to defeat reinforcements. Either way, you'll be heading towards where they spawned to get into your next big fight before you die for having the fucking audacity of trying out the physics tech demo.
I want you to subscribe to me.
Scav Merchant Hub.
On YouTube, thank you, cringe. Bye.